And gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to play the Hori. Yes, the Hori, the Japanese tank destroyer in tier 10. And what a beautiful tank this is. Like, the more I play this tank, the more I'm loving the tank. It is absolutely fantastic. It's got a great gun. The armor is very, very troll. And overall, it is just a brilliant tank destroyer. So we're going to have a look at the stats, and we're going to have just a couple of battles in the tank. So the armor, the whole 260 millimeters. Now, obviously, if you are facing directly at an enemy tank, your armor's not great. You have to make it difficult for the enemy. You have to move, wiggle, make it difficult for them to penetrate. And as I've said, if you wiggle, then the armor does become troll. But if you're just sitting there facing directly at them, then they will be able to aim at your weak point and they will be able to penetrate you. So yeah, be careful of that armor. Damage per minute, 3,325, so decent damage per minute. Reload is 10.10 seconds. Penetration is 310 on your standard AP and 380 on your AP, your premium AP, 85 on your HE. Now, something about this tank is, I always say it in my videos of the tank, and to be fair, not many people still do it. So you've got two AP rounds. One of them, of course, with 310 and one of them with 380. That is a massive difference. But usually when you use your premium rounds, you do a lot less damage. However, with this tank, you are literally only doing 15 damage less on average if you're using that premium round. So if you've got credits and you're not bothered about credits, you might as well. I'm not telling people just to run the premium round, but you might as well. You might as well. If you're only doing 15 damage less, I mean, I would sacrifice 15 damage for an extra 70 pen. Definitely, 100%. So yeah, if you know, you run the premium round as much as you can because you're more likely to penetrate. Your HE is 640 alpha. So again, if you can get that alpha, then yeah, it is worth doing some HE damage. Aim time, I think, is pretty solid at 3.1, the same as the gun dispersion at 0.317. You do, however, only have 6 degrees of gun depression, which isn't great at all, with a top speed of 45 kilometers per hour. I do have to apologise for the in-game sound, as I've recently said that I am having issues when I am recording media only. I don't know why. When I'm using my Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, it used to record the game sounds, but for some reason I can only record the game sounds when I record the mic as well, where I used to be able to sort of hide the mic, mute the mic, and only record the game sounds. But for some reason, it's not letting me do it. If any of you guys know what to do, please help me, because it will really help me out. So yeah, the Hori, I never use the Hori as a kind of sit at the back kind of tank. I do kind of use it as a front line or second line tank. And, you know, just because you do have decent speed, and you do have decent-ish armor. This game, I got a little bit annoyed, to be fair. Partly my fault, but I'm gonna blame one of my teammates, because yeah, this Minotauro really did sort of annoy me. So as you can see, we are playing frontline. It is a 4 versus 5 at the moment. Now I blame the Minotauro because he sits right behind me, trying to sort of protect himself, and he's full hit points. So if he wasn't there, I would have been able to back up, not been shot there, and I would still have over 1,000, or basically 1,000 hit points. And that means everything. That does mean everything. That means a lot. That is the difference between winning and losing. So far now, 4 versus 3, 3.4k damage. There is still 3 tanks that are pretty much full hit points. And as you can see, if you do move, then you do get some bounces. And what is wrong with people? They just don't care, do they? Even this IS-7 was just like, get the F out the way. Now, I do mess up here because, yeah, I'm low hit points. I do mess up. That was a nice shot, however, on that 5A. Now, I could have just backed up a bit. Didn't realise the 5A was looking at me. But the difference here now is I am a one shot. I try getting out of the way. I try wiggling. But, yeah, the 5A just done me. So, unfortunately, this ended up coming as a loss because of these two, like, just... They had no idea. This Minotaur, he had no idea. But, you know, it is what it is. I'll take the loss. I still done my job. I still got over 5,000 damage. Moving on, we have an even better game than, obviously, the one I've just had. This one is really, really good. And as I've said, it's not really a tank that you can play at the back. I mean, you can. If you want to play it sort of at the back in a tank destroyer position, you can, because the reload's not too bad. The DPM is not too bad, and you can do that. But I do like playing it in these kind of positions, you know, not front line as such, but second line, you know, behind your team, but not right at the back. And that Death Star, thinking he was going to get into a tank destroyer position and farm, yeah, he had another... You know, he had other plans that didn't go his way. So far now, there is 2 tanks down. The 50B has gone. The Death Star has gone. And our guy needs to put some work in. And he's going to have to put the work in pretty much all game. So there then goes now the T-57. So that is 2 auto-loaders out of the game. So already... It's a big ask for the green team. Very big ask. 2 heavy tanks out of the game. And not just that, but auto-loaders as well. If they work together, they could have pretty much destroyed anyone. But yeah, they're both gone. 2 heavy tanks gone. Only 1 heavy tank remains on the team. What is that Object 140 doing? I don't know. But our guy in the hurry seizes that chance and takes out the only medium on the enemy team. So that will help. Having the only medium gone will help indeed. So far, he has blocked 640 damage. So he's not blocked a lot. But as I've said, like, you can't actively rely on the armor, but you can get bounces. Like, it's not one of those tanks that you can go front line and think, you know what, everyone's going to bounce me, like the Object 268 version 4, for example. You go front line and Object 268 version 4, and you're not gonna get penetrated by everybody. You're going to bounce a lot of your shots. So this tank, you can't. I mean, you can get bounces, but you just can't rely on that armor. So far, 3,000 damage. It is a 4 versus 3. There goes the Death Star, but there goes the Conqueror. So it is now a 3 versus 3. But all three enemy tanks are pretty much full hit points. So it's going to be a lot of work to do. There goes the 120, and it is now a 2 versus 3. So 3.6k damage. And this is the kind of positions he's trying to sort of get in. He's trying to bait the shot. Unfortunately, doesn't work out for him, and he does get penetrated from this WZ here. So he is now a one-shot. He is now a one-shot. The Death Star, he's going to need the Death Star's support, I think. If he's going to win this, he's definitely going to need that Death Star's support. So he does get the nice shot there on the Object 777. Nice shot there from the Death Star. He is now a one-shot. And yeah, it's all to play for, but he's definitely going to need some bounces if he's going to want to survive this game. So far, he's on 5,000 damage. Come on, Death Star, please take out that Object. He has to take out that Object, otherwise it is game over, and he does just that. So now it is a 2 versus 2. Both of the green tanks are one shot, so it's not looking too good for the green tanks. And of course, there is still a heavy tank that is on full hit points. The E5, I think, is still full hit points. Unlucky miss there from the 113, which means the hurry can push forward with his reload and just take him out. But there goes the Death Star. So it's now a one-shot hurry versus a full hit point E5. Not looking good at all. So he's going to need, on average, probably around 2 bounces if he's going to want to take him out. I think the reloads are around about the same. However, the Hori does a lot more damage than the E5. So he has actually used all of these premium shells, which is what I said at the beginning. Like, don't panic. Like, don't be afraid to use your premium shells. Don't care what anybody says. You know, in the game where everyone's like, oh, you gold noob. Don't listen to all that. If you have to use your premium shells, use your premium shells, because you don't lose that much damage, but you gain a lot of pen. Overall, fantastic game there from the Hori. Finishes with a very nice amount of damage. Overall, I think it's definitely worth grinding. The Hori, I think it's a very good line. Like, not just the tier 10, but the tier 9, the tier 8, they're not as good as the Hori type 3, the tier 10, but they are still very good tanks. And when you could do this kind of damage in this tank, I mean, you do see that a lot. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye-bye. With